I'm Manja Smits and I'm a musician, harpist, and I teach at the ArtEZ Academy of Music in Zwolle. The harp is very versatile. You can do everything. You can color in an orchestra. You can do great things with ensembles. So it's also a very social instrument because we can accompany other musicians. You can be very elegant at the harp, but you can also be like... So you can express yourself in a very direct, emotional way, sensitive way, because you know, we have the touch, natural gut strings. Of course, there is a little layer of lacquer around it, but you know, you feel the strings, so it's also very physically rewarding. But of course, we have always to find the harmony with our body, so that the energy is free and can flow freely for the audience. And that's what it's an ongoing research and practice and playing, actually. With the classical music, you get very consistent and good bass to play the harp well. So you develop very much your craftsmanship. So a good technique, and you need a good technique for classical music, but of course also in experimental and improvisational music you can challenge yourself also, but you're much more freer to choose your ways how to play the harp. This is a single action harp and it's around 200 years old. And what I think is very important is that the students get the sense of, that they feel where is our music coming from, and that you approach it from the older side. For example, this one, of course the bass is quite rich. But in the upper register, you have to be really delicate in your approach of the strings, because if you do a little bit too much effort, then the harp is going to cry to you and ask for a more sensitive approach. But you can play your solo pieces, of course, on this one, and then try to translate it to your own modern pedal harp, because not everybody has an old harp. It's really a very inspiring journey for my students and for myself. If you want to do an audition for the first year, for a bachelor, of course you have to have quite a lot of experience already with the pedal harp. It would be nice to show two different solos in different style. It would be very nice to have an 18th century or beginning 19th century piece, so an old and more early music piece, and a romantic piece that you can show what you can do on the harp. Also two different etudes, one with scales, one with chords. So different techniques, and everything else what you would like to present. If you would like to present some favorite thing of yours, that of course is also very welcome. What is, I think, great from our academy here in Zwolle is that you can really try out different fields and job fields. So in education, in healthcare, in unconventional audiences, in very experimental or improvisational ensembles, so in crossovers with jazz and pop, and so that you can really feel what do I want to do when I graduate. And then we also encourage entrepreneurial skills, that you are becoming an own business, a personal business, and that you can find your way also with building up networks, and then I'm sure you find your way in